Good evening from wherever you are connected from and wherever you are listening to me from. Good evening and welcome to another amazing session. Welcome to Health Up with Kemi. We are a global health platform designed to empower and equip both the young and the old about their health to make informed decisions and to also equip them with necessary knowledge needed to live a healthy life. So wherever you are connected from, we say a very big welcome. It's your first time joining us. Welcome. So glad to have you on board. And tonight I'll be talking about anxiety and social media. Very important. We're talking about anxiety and social media tonight. But before that, I want you to please share on your platform, your WhatsApp status. Let people know that we are live. And tonight's session is going to be so amazing. Let's get as many people as we can get on board for this amazing session. Because trust me, I am prepared to speak. And I just know that God is set to do something as well. I mean, preparing for this topic, I just kept thinking that God does not want his children to live in anxiety. God does not want his children to be anxious. This is not God's will. This is not God's plan for his children. I mean, we go through life goes through us, and we have different moments in life, but it is still not God's will that we live in anxiety and live a life full of worries, full of fear, full of what might happen. Am I not doing well enough? Right? And that's why I came up with tonight's session. Please kindly share on your status and let's get as many people as we can on board for tonight's session before we proceed into the night. Now, I also want you to kindly introduce yourself wherever you are connected from or connecting from. Kindly tell us your name and where you are connected from tonight. We'd love to get to meet you as well. So kindly say your name and where you are connected from tonight. We'd love to get to meet you. Kindly say your name and where you are connected from tonight. Let's get to meet you. 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 So kindly type out your name and where you're connected from tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. As we go into the topic on anxiety. So kindly type out your name and where you are connected from tonight. Okay. If you send in the comments, I would see your response. Just type out your name and where you're connected from tonight as well. Thank you for being here. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. All right, we are live at the session on anxiety and social media. This is a very crucial topic of discussion, especially among the youth, and not just the youth. It's a broad discussion across all age ranges. But I feel that the youth should be more targeted because we are in this phase of life where you might feel like things are not going so well. Your friends are ahead, your friends have gone, they moved on, you've not caught up, you don't even know what to do. And that's why this session is very, very important if you are in that phase, right? And we are humans, so any phase of life can spur us into such situation. And we need to discuss so you're prepared beforehand on what to do and how to navigate such area if you find yourself in it. So tonight, not to take too much of our time, I'll be talking about anxiety and social media. It is a very crucial topic. And you see, before I came up tonight, I've been praying for you. So everyone that ends up listening to this message or to this recording, either today or anytime in the future, I have prayed for you because it saddens me in my heart because I know this thing is very common, but it saddens me in my heart to see that people cannot live to their full potential because they are holding on to fear, to worry, to whatever has held them bound. And I keep saying this is not God's will. God did not create us to be bound. God didn't create us to be anxious. God didn't create us to be fearful. In fact, God kept saying to us, do not fear, do not fear. So it is not God's view that any of his child that he created would actually live in fear, would live in worry, would live in doubts, we live in anxiety, we live in, I don't know what to do, I do not know. And that's why I just believe that beyond the slide that I've prepared, I've prayed for you personally that everyone that listens to this message and is dealing with anxiety, that anxiety will be displaced in your life and the peace of God will fill your heart. The peace of God will calm your heart and you would rise up to be all that God has called you to. Because if anxiety set in, it might be hard to actualize and fulfill all the potentials that God has put within you. But God wants you to live and reign as the king that he has called you to be on earth. And I just pray for you that as you listen to this message tonight, that tonight shall be the end of anxiety, the end of the cycle of anxiety, the cycle of worry and doubt in your life. In Jesus' name. All right, let me just start by talking about what I've prepared in my slide. Tonight we'll talk about anxiety and social media. And this is the topic for tonight, anxiety and social media. So now let's start about talking about what's anxiety. Because if we're talking about anxiety and social media, we need to talk about and mention what anxiety is. Anxiety is a natural, listen, I said natural human emotion. So it means anxiety can set in because you are human. Do you understand that? So I would not pretend and lie that there are times that we do not get anxious. Even I, as a person, there are times anxiety or nervousness can kick in. If you have a very big day at work, maybe you have to present in front of 1,000 of people. Maybe you have to do something you've not done before. Anxiety can set in. That's why I said anxiety is a natural human emotion. But if I'm talking from the standpoint of being a child of God, I would say anxiety is not normal. But if I'm talking about this, if I'm talking from a standpoint of being a human that has biological process, I will talk about anxiety is a natural human emotion. Now, anxiety is characterized by feelings of fear and uneasiness. If I ask everyone listening to me tonight, that have you ever felt anxious? You would tell me you have in different phases of life. You will say, I have felt anxious, I felt this way. You know how it can be. Maybe when they just call you out of they just call you all of a sudden to come and say something in front of people, and you're like, hey, how will they look at me? It happens. So anxiety is characterized by feelings of fear and uneasiness. You just feel like you're not okay. It's like something throws you off balance. Yeah. So when a person is anxious, it's like you are being thrown off balance from your normal system. So anxiety is the body's response to stress to help you cope or avoid a passive threat. You would see that if there is no stress or threat, you will not feel anxious. You're just like everything is calm, you're good. So anxiety is actually your body's response to, okay, you are stressed, or you are under or you are under threat, or you are under something that is putting you under pressure. That's when anxiety comes in. It means your body is responding to the stress, to the threat, to the pressure, or to the condition. That's when anxiety comes in. Now, anxiety becomes a concern. Mind you, I said anxiety can be normal because we are humans and we have emotions. So you can go through some days and feel like, I don't know what will happen, I'm kind of anxious. But anxiety becomes a major concern. Anxiety becomes an epidemic when the fear, when the uneasiness, when the pressure, when the threat that you feel begins to interfere with your daily activities. Anxiety becomes a concern when the fear that you feel begins to interfere with your daily activities, when the fear is more consistent, when the pressure is just imminent, when you just every day you feel so pressured, every day you feel so scared, every day there is fear, every day you don't know what to do. That's when anxiety becomes a concern. So when you find yourself daily, day in, day out, you are just scared, you are anxious, you feel threatened, you feel pressured, then it means that that anxiety has become a major concern. Now, there are some symptoms that is displayed when a person has anxiety. One of it is a rapid heart rate. You might feel your heart beating, boom, 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 boom. It's as if your heart is inside your mouth, because you can feel and even hear it, boom, pumping so fast, because you are so anxious. And now this happens sometimes. Like I said, maybe you were told to present, and then you feel like, how would you face people? And then the moment they say group one, come out to present, and you know it's your turn, you might feel anxious that, oh yes, I'm coming. Those ones kind of happens. But when it begins to affect your daily activities, you can't think straight, you can't function properly. My dear, you need to do something. Now, let me say this. I'm not a mental health professional. I'm not a mental health specialist or occupational therapist or someone that does mental health. But if you know that yours is this severe and it's affecting your daily activities and you don't know what to do, I would suggest that you actually see a professional. So there are some signs that people with anxiety display, and one of it is rapid heart rate, sweating. You find yourself sweating. In fact, your stomach can start scattering. You just feel like maybe you even want to use the toilet that you didn't feel like using before. It can affect every part of your body. Then you start to sweat, you start to shake, shortness of breath. You just feel like you are dizzy. Then there's difficulty concentrating, worrying, difficulty falling asleep, withdrawal. All these and more are the signs of anxiety. So when a person becomes anxious, these are some symptoms that they actually exhibit. They're scared, sweating, shaking, worrying, there's difficulty in concentrating. Because if the entire system in your body has been thrown off balance, you can't concentrate. You can't even do well, not to talk of concentrating. So these are the symptoms that comes with anxiety. Now, there are different types of anxiety disorder. When anxiety begins to interfere with your daily activities, it becomes a disorder. It becomes something of concern. It becomes an epidemic. It becomes something that needs to be sorted and treated as urgent. Now, there are different types of anxiety disorder, and one of it is called generalized anxiety disorder. This is excessive, persistent worry about everyday things. It just means every day you are worried. Every day you are worrying. You see, I don't want to say I once worked, but part of my work experience has been in mental health, and people that present there even appear normal. Some appear normal, all is well, they look well groomed, they look amazing, but things are going on with them. So if you are in a category whereby there is excessive persistent worry for almost 6 months, you just find yourself worried, then you need to do something about it. The other type is panic disorder. This one happens to people frequently. It involves sudden intense feeling of fear. Like suddenly you are just very scared. Now, this particular anxiety can cause shortness of breath. Imagine you being scared and you can't breathe well. This is not God's design. Imagine you are scared and you cannot breathe well. There's rapid heart rate, you feel palpitations, you just feel like there is something going on. This is not God's design. So panic disorder happens maybe when you are faced with a particular situation and then it just brings back memories, or then you just start to think about things that have not even happened yet. And all of a sudden there is panic disorder. You cannot breathe. You just there is chest pain, palpitations. You need to get it sorted out. Another type is social anxiety disorder. Now, this one happens to many people, and this is the fact that this is the type that I will focus more and dwell on tonight. Social anxiety disorder is an intense fear of being judged. This one happens to almost everybody, and I'll love you. I also want it to be an interactive session. How many times have you wanted to post something on your social media platforms, but you've held back because you felt you are going to be judged? If we are being sincere, this happens to almost everyone. I want to post something, even if that something might seem small and insignificant to people. And if that thing means a lot to me, I might feel like, oh, people might see it as small. It might not be what people want to see, and then you will not post. What does happen to you? That is social anxiety. That is a fear of being judged. And this happens to almost everyone. And you see, one thing I've learned to do, or one thing I'm learning to do, or one thing I'm consciously telling myself to do is posting whatever I wish to post, irrespective of if it makes sense to you, does not make sense to you. As long as I want to post, I post. Because sometimes you really want to post things, but we're just scared how would they perceive it. We don't want to view it. We did comment. I think there was a time in my life that if I post something and I didn't get many comments on it, I would delete because I feel like people don't like it. That's what social anxiety disorder. That is an intense fear of being judged, right? It's an intense fear of being scrutinized. It's an intense fear of being humiliated in social situations, of not being accepted, of not being liked. And you need to know that you have to live your life. Either people want to like it or they don't want to like it. It's your life. And my life is not meant to be lived to please others. Can you say that to yourself? My life is not meant to be lived to please others. It's your life. So when your life becomes, you see, the moment you want to start pleasing people with your life, it means your life has become a game. Because only a game can be pleasing. You know how people want to play games so that they can feel good. I'm not a game. So my life should not be lived in pleasing others. I live my life because it belongs to me. Do you understand me? Now, the fourth type of anxiety disorder is phobia. Now, an overwhelming fear of a specific object, a situation, or place that poses little or no danger. When people have phobia, it might not even mean that that thing can harm them. Some people are just scared of water. Some people are just scared of water. Like some people are scared of water. Water sounds like water, but some people are scared of water. So water might not pose. In fact, water does not pose any danger as long as it's not inside ocean you want to enter. But people are scared of water. Some people are scared of light. Some people are scared of phone. Some people are scared of tall people. This is actually anxiety disorder as well. Some people are scared of maybe facing people. Some people are scared of maybe doing something. So whatever it is that brings phobia to you can also be a type of anxiety disorder, because when you now see that thing that actually makes you scared, what does it happen? What does it do to you? Anxiety. You start to feel nervous. There is just this uneasiness within you. So these are the major four types of anxiety disorder: generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, phobia. And I hope that you are with me tonight. Now, I want to talk about the major thing. I think I highlighted up to four major points that causes anxiety in social media, or that causes anxiety when you use your social media. And the first one is called the highlight reel effect. From the word highlight, it simply means highlight when you pick a specific detail of your life, or when you pick a specific detail of a picture and you put it out. Can we be sincere with ourselves? Everyone does not put out what goes on daily in their lives on social media. Some will, some won't. Now, some people only put out the highlighted part of their lives. Are you still with me? Can you type something so I know that you are listening to me tonight? Some people put out the highlighted part of their lives on social media. It simply means whatever you see on social media is what they want you to see, not what is really going on in depth. And those are two different things. I can put out something that I want you to see. It might not mean that's what is going on within me, inside me, in my life. But because I want you to see, I want to feed it to you. I want you to embrace it, that this is what is happening to me, that I put it out. That's what is called the highlight reel effect. And this is common to almost everybody. Now, not to say you are not to follow any celebrity or anything like that, but it's not like everyone puts out what really goes down behind the scene on social media. Some people can just put out, the curated effect, the highlighted effect, without putting the behind the scene. So my point now is the highlight reel effect also cause anxiety, because now these things are fed to you. You digest them, then you become anxious. Oh, that is my friend since primary one day is now abroad. Is now this. It's not that. And I also made mention in a video that I actually made that people that put out these things, their intention might not be to oppress you or to make you feel bad, but because you are human. That's why I said anxiety is a natural human emotion, because you are human. Their main intent might not even be, I want to pepper this person. Anybody that intentionally brings out the content to pepper somebody, that person has dealing with anxiety. But they might just say, okay, let me just post this thing because I want to post on social media. But you might pick it up and begin to dwell on it, and then it starts to affect you. So the highlight reel effect is the term for the deceptive and idealized portrayal of life on social media, which often leads to mental health outcomes. Everyone's life on social media looks perfect. I tell you, everyone's life, almost everyone's life on social media looks perfect, looks beautiful, looks like there is no worries, there's nothing going on. Now, let me tell you something. When I was much younger, before I got to know more about maybe relationship, marriage, and when I see couples online, I used to feel like, oh, so it's this way, it's that way, it's this way. Oh, so is that sweet? Most people hardly, maybe you've seen such content, but I haven't. Most people hardly post when they fight on social media. But all you will see is when they go out, when they take picture, when they go to the pool, when they go on trip. And that's what you see. And you start saying, God, when am I a tree? Even if I'm a pot, use me to cook. Subconsciously or consciously, these things start to create anxiety. It start to create uneasiness within you. How many of you have seen content on social media that was driving you to do things that you normally would not do? These things can actually create anxiety, and you start saying, okay, my husband must also take me to Paris, he must take me to Japan, he must take me to Zanzibar, he must take me to this and that. So my point now is people put out perfect, happy things online, and this creates a false standard. If they had told me that some couples used to fight, I would say it's a lie. Because why? All I see is the happy moments. I just used to feel like, oh, they're always happy. But are you telling me we are humans? So are you telling me your 100% life, you're just always happy? It doesn't work that way. Life is not a bed of roses. But you see, the highlight reel effect makes you believe what they want you to believe. Now, it makes everybody's life look so perfect, and this creates a false standard. There is perfectly edited pictures, people that don't have hips, figure eight, people figure eight there. There's nice captured moment. That's why people used to do what I ordered versus what I got. You will see people that have put padded hips, either they have or they put. Now, you go and tell your tailor to make that same style, you without padded hips, and then you want it to come out the same way. My point is that person might not even have the padded hips. It might just be the design of the cloth. Now you go to your tailor and say, do this thing for me, and then you get a different outcome. Are you getting what I'm saying? You will get the different outcome. So the highlight rate effect is just a narrative that is being pushed to you. People curate their best moment and put it out there. Happy family, a good day, perfectly looking meals, nice captured moments, and all they want you to see is what they put out to you. Now you pick that thing and begin to run with it. Anxiety comes in, you are nervous, you are fearful. What if not? What if not? This is the first cause of anxiety. Now, the next cause of anxiety is the fear of missing out. I call it FOMO, the fear of missing out. And most times this happens to almost everyone. The fear of missing out. That's why we always want to refresh our Instagram and TikTok every 2 minutes, especially when you have a particular person that you are following and that person has, you've been glued to their page. You're always refreshing what is going on, what is happening. You always want to know what is happening. May I tell you, for someone that has a big vision, I'm not saying you won't do social media, but for someone that has a vision greater than himself or herself, you can't always be refreshing pages. You cannot always be watching people. Work hard so that people would watch you as well. So your goal cannot just be, let me be refreshing social media so I'll see what's going on. I don't want to miss out. I don't want to know. Do you understand? Now, this thing happened. This thing might seem so unreal, but it happens to people. There is this endless scrolling on social media. And listen, when you begin to scroll, you see, one thing you must even be conscious and careful of is whenever you want to maybe surf the internet, be intentional. How many minutes do I want to spend? In no circumstance should you spend 1 hour on social media. It means you are not busy. Now get busy. Get busy doing something. Read books, sleep, eat, do something that will bring about productivity. Do something that will also make people watch you. But you see, it happens to majority of us. I just take my phone and say, oh, I want to see what's happening on TikTok, and then I find myself scrolling. It just, the scrolling never ends. Because why? The algorithm is pushing out things for you to see. So as you are scrolling, more things are coming out. Just keep on seeing, you keep on watching. You scroll, things are coming out. You keep on watching, you keep on watching. So endless scrolling on social media can make you feel like you're not doing enough. It might make you feel like you're not part of the fun. I mean, I personally have seen videos of people that are having fun, and I'm not even moved again. I'm just like, okay, it's fine. People have different face. I think we need to come to that part and aspect that people have different face in their lives. They might be your own face right now. Get there. Now you get back and get busy. But it's not like you will see something and then you just start saying, Tinuke is doing well in Abuja. I'm this, I'm that. So the fear of missing out on social media updates can actually make you feel like you are not doing enough. You see somebody in their 22. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some things that you see on social media that are actually keeping your toes. It's like, let me talk to my head again. Let me talk to myself again. Kemi, am I doing the right thing? But sometimes this can create anxiety. Move at your pace. Move at your pace. Move at your pace. At the long run, you have yourself. Move at your pace. So when you constantly start scrolling, endless scrolling on social media, it can actually make you feel like you're not doing enough. It can lead to constant state of comparison and dissatisfaction. You begin to despise yourself. I'm not good enough. I can't do well enough. I cannot be this. I cannot be that. I cannot be comparison setting. And in my book, I actually wrote a book titled The Year I Turned 24. In my book, I wrote that comparison is not just the thief of joy. You know, sometimes they say that comparison is a thief of joy. It steals people joy because the moment you begin to compare yourself to someone else, automatically you find yourself not so excited. So it kind of steals your joy. But comparison is not only the thief of joy, it's also a killer of dreams and ambitions. Imagine that you actually want to do something, but because you are so engrossed in someone else's life, you've compared yourself to someone else for too many times, you find yourself holding back and saying you cannot you cannot amount, or you cannot do as much as such person can do, which is a sad reality. That's not who you are. That's not who you are. So the fear of missing out is the fear that others are living a better life than you are. It's like a desire to feel a sense of belonging. I want to belong. I want to arrive. Mind you, you can never see, there will never be a time that you can arrive because life is progressive. Your purpose in life as well is progressive. There'll be different things that you find yourself doing in different phase of life. So there can never be a time you feel you've arrived. You will always be on the journey. Are you with me? You will always be on the journey. So the fear of missing out is like a desire to feel a sense of belonging. I just want to feel I'm this way. I want to feel I'm that way. I'm just this. I'm just that. You don't have to feel that way. And you have to stop the endless social media scrolling. This is also one major reason or cause of social media anxiety. One other thing again is cyberbullying and trolling. I don't use Twitter. I don't even know how they use it. I don't know how to use it. I think I have the app on my phone, but I just don't know how to even. I once tried. Let me see. Maybe I will see. I will see. I just and I've heard that it's very, very toxic. Not to say there are no good content on Twitter, but majority of it is what toxicity. Let's bash each other, let's beat each other up, let's scatter things. So cyberbullying as well. I mean, and sometimes when I see people that actually go through cyberbullying, I feel so bad for them. Because I mean, no matter how bad someone can be or someone can be doing, nobody actually wants to be insulted. Nobody wants to be bullied. Nobody wants to feel like people are always on my neck, on my throat, on my head. Nobody wants to feel that way. So cyberbullying is an act of repeated. It does not happen once. It's an act of repeated intentional harassment that is directed at a specific person. Now, cyberbullying is cyber because you are using electronic communication. It's online. There is physical bullying where you see somebody one on one and bully them. But this one is cyber. And cyberbullying can be done as well with the kind of words that you say to people. We know when your goal is to intimidate the person. So people that have gone through cyberbullying in one way or another, they would end up with anxiety. I mean, if they are not so strong, if they are not so rooted, they might end up with anxiety because now they've gone through. I personally have seen different views of people, and in my mind, I'm like, oh, fair enough. Or I'm like, this video is not really good. But the comment section is amazing. Insult. You are like glow yakata, empty and brekete. You know, these things can be funny to those that are reading the comments. I think I've seen videos of people that are kind of fat, and then people go to their comment section to say a lot. And I'm like, are you forgetting that these people too are humans? They're human beings that have natural emotions as well. And they're also prone to anxiety because they're humans. And then you start seeing you kata this, you are like I tell you, I'm like, how? Even if that might be those people's reality, we don't have to do that. But you see it everywhere. So people that have gone through cyberbullying, they have a high risk of falling to anxiety. And that's how we must also be kind with our words. We must be kind about what we say to people. We must be kind with what we say to people as well. Trolling is also another major cause. Now, trolling is an online harassment where a troll is the perpetrator, where a troll posts of offensive comments, offensive, controversial comments, just to provoke an emotional reaction from the person or the audience. These things that come on with the people troll them on social media. They cyberbully people, they bully people, they troll them. You see, all these things might not be like they're even fighting, but just with words, your words can make or mar someone. Hey, your words can destroy people. People can be depressed because of the words that we say to them. And if you are in that category or you've gone through that category, you need to know that you need to have a detox of mindset. You need to let go of all the words they've said concerning you and start to build new words into your head. Because somehow you might think that these words are not getting to you, but every word that is being spoken to you, you are catching it, you are picking it. Remember when we were much younger and our parents would say things to us, this, that. One way or another, we caught those words. Even if now we are trying to let it go, we still caught those words. So the words that has been said to you or is being said to you, you are catching it. Now you have to have a detox of mindset of words and begin to put in new words into your head so that it can actually help you. Because trolls, people that bully people are everywhere. And I think we need to do better as humans. I don't think we need to. We need to do better as humans. Sometimes people are scared of social media because they know that once I come up here, they'll bash me, they'll insult me, they'll drag me. It's like we've made dragging normal. We've commonized cyberbully, we've commonized trolling, we've commonized dragging people. All these are wrong. This is not God's design. All these are wrong, but we've commonized it. So we need to be very careful with our words. And if you've fallen into a case or position of any of this cyberbullying and trolling, like I said, have a dictos of mind, of words, so you can just put in new words. Speak words that will speak concerning you. Put it in your head. And one of the ways that also causes anxiety on social media is the always on pressure. You just want to be available all the time. You just feel the need to be constantly available. You feel like you want to be available. You need to be available. You want to check what's happening with Kemi's life. You want to check what's happening with Folanke's life. You want to listen. When there is the always on pressure, you cannot sleep well at night. Might sound funny, but I'm serious. You cannot sleep well at night. In fact, your mental health cannot be healthy because now you feel like you always want to be available. You always want to keeping up with the Kardashians. You always want to keep up with things that are going on in people's life. That's why I said it's because you are not busy, and get busy. Once you find yourself endlessly scrolling on social media, you find yourself all on social media, you are just always there. Get busy, get productive, do things that actually propels you into being productive. So the always on pressure simply means you turn on your phone, you check your device every time to see what's going on. You feel like that is your obligation. You feel like it's just a normal thing for you to quickly. You know how people wake up in the morning and the first thing we do is carry phone. Let me see what's going on. Do you always on pressure? I mean, what if we wake up and we don't take our phone immediately and say, let me go about my day, doing my normal activity? Then when I'm less busy, I will check my phone. Will anything happen? Nothing will happen. It's just the mindset. It's discipline and mindset. So the always on pressure is the constant need to be available. It's the constant need to respond immediately to messages. You know, when people tell you, I don't like those that don't respond immediately. If you find yourself always responding immediately, I will take you as an unserious and unbusy person. Be busy. You cannot always be available. It's fine. You cannot always be available. You cannot always be responding immediately. Let your loved ones know. If you want to reach me, call me immediately. I know they're online. Let them know. So you see, there'll be information overload. You want to know what's going on every day. The next big thing has happened on Instagram. Has this one scattered this one? Has this one broken this one? You cannot live your life that way. In fact, if you are living that way, you will not be relaxed. There will be mental disconnect, and you find it hard to even contribute productivity to your own life as well. So the always on pressure, the highlight real effect. I also spoke about cyberbullying and trolling and the fear of missing out. These are major concerns or major causes of anxiety in social media. And now I just spoke about the problems or the causes of anxiety. We also need to talk about how to reduce. Should I say reduce? Yes, because anxiety can be reduced. How to reduce anxiety or how to prevent anxiety. Because in one way or another, I personally believe that anxiety does not let people live their life to the fullest because you want to do something but you are scared, you feel uneasy, you just feel like something is not right. So how can this anxiety be resolved? One thing I will say to you is mindful consumption. Be very intentional about whatever you are seeing, whatever you are checking, whatever you are putting yourself out to see on social media. Your social media, your most dominant social media can be WhatsApp. Yours might be Instagram. Yours can be Facebook, Twitter, anyone that Snapchat, anyone that works for you. But the first thing you need to do is mindful consumption. Be intentional about your social media use. Always take a moment to ask yourself, how does this post make me feel? Always ask yourself, how does this particular post that I just viewed, how does it make me feel? If it makes you feel negative, that's a sign to unfollow. That's a sign to mute. That's a sign to block. That's a sign to take a break. So every post you consume, there are certain posts that I see on my social media feed, and I just say I don't want to say this kind of thing again because it does not define me. It's not aligned to my values. It's not the kind of person that I am. So when I see them, it disturbs me. And immediately I say, I don't want to see them. I either say not interested. Yeah, I think there's actually an option for not interested on Instagram. Not interested. Don't show me again. I don't want to see it because it's not just aligning with who I am. So there must be mindful consumption when it comes to social media. You cannot want to, I tell people, you cannot want to view everything. Don't always be on the lookout for everything. Try to start streamlining post and content. How does it make me feel? Not good. Unfollow. Block. Mute. Don't show me again. Even at certain times in life, you might even mute WhatsApp statuses that does not make you feel okay. Like people that post things that I don't want to see, I mute them because I just don't want to see it. Not like I'm I just don't want to see it. So I mute them. So mindful consumption is one intentional way on how to use social media. You need to be intentional about what you consume. Because I said social media is pushing different things to feed you. So whatever you see on social media is feeding you, just like I'm feeding you right now. You might decide to listen or not listen. That's a choice. But social media is constantly feeding you, putting things in your faces. Now you need to know when to say stop, block, not interested, mute. I don't want to see you again. Very, very important. One other thing you can do is to set boundaries. One other major thing you can do is to set boundaries. Time limit on apps and phone screen time. Set time limits. Okay, in my Instagram, just run for 1 hour. After 1 hour, once I come to you, boom, don't open up again. I believe there are advanced phones like that, though. I think there are some phones that have such apps that actually like times whatever you do on social media. So your phone is just telling you, not today, we are done. I set a particular thing to my own personal YouTube. And I think once it's 11 p.m., YouTube notifies me and tells me that it's time to go to bed. It's time to go to bed. And if I try to say I want to continue, it reminds me it's time to go to bed. It's sleep time. And I believe that we have such apps on our phone that can actually keep us in check. Time limits on apps and phone screen time. Some of us, when our phone give us breakdown of screen time of I just wonder how you would not even know how long you've been online until you get an analysis or a statistics showing you the time that you spent on each app. So one way to actually reduce the use of social media is by setting boundaries. Not to say you will not use your social media apps again, but just to set boundaries. Set boundaries, time limit, no phone zones. You might decide that some particular phase or times in life, you will not take your phone. You might decide that as you are eating, you will not carry your phone. That's actually an intentional decision as well. You might say, oh, throughout I have my breakfast, dinner, everything, I don't want to carry my phone. That's fine. You might say, okay, one thing we also do as well is what? One thing we also do as well is whenever we go to the toilet, we carry our phones. You might say, as I go to the toilet or bathroom, I'm not going with my phone. As I'm eating, I'm not pressing my phone. I'm focused on my eating. I'm focused on whatever I'm doing in the toilet or the bathroom, and I come out again. Setting boundaries, time limit on apps, digital curfew. When it's 9 p.m., I don't want to touch my phone again. I personally wish that there were apps that would lock our phone. Now, if we set a particular time limit that okay, by 9 p.m. I don't want to touch my phone. I wish that there were apps that will lock that phone. No matter how you try to unlock that phone, the phone will not unlock again until tomorrow. Before the phone will now open up and say, okay, you can use me. So have digital curfew. Set particular times that you feel like you don't want to be online or you don't want to use your phone again at this particular period of time. Then turn off notification. When everything is doing bang, 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 you want to be checking what's going on. Turn off notification because the moment everything is doing bam, bam, you want to be checking your phone repeatedly, consistently. And from checking one message, you can end up watching 50 TikTok videos. From checking just one message, you might end up watching 50 TikTok videos. So turn off notification. It's not every time you're doing bang, 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 bang. Especially at moments where you are very busy. Turn it off. So you know that all you want to do now is concentrate. And when you are done or very less busy, you can go back and check all the notifications that came in and begin to respond to them. Then sometimes you might need to switch your phone to do not disturb mode. You are not wicked. It's just the reality. Sometimes you might need to put on your phone or switch off your phone or put your phone to do not disturb mode because you want to concentrate. Because if everything you're doing pam, pam, pam too much, it's reducing your concentration level as well. Content boundaries. Hello, watch your feed. Watch what the social media is feeding to you. Now set boundaries. Instagram, don't show me this kind of content. I just mentioned that I was seeing some content that did not align with my value. I'm like, this is not me. Maybe I said for something that was making them bring it to me, but this is not me. Not interested. I'll click on that video. Not interested. Don't show me again. I don't want to see it again. And then really it started to help me because I wasn't seeing them again. So I have content boundaries. These are some content that I don't want to see. I mean, curate your feed in such a way that they are inspiring. Don't let your feed be oble all the time. Every time it does oble, every time it does channel 4214, all these TikTok sounds. Every time that's everything. I think people that are breaking balls, people that are dancing. That cannot be what you are living your life for. That cannot be what you want to feed you. I mean, how is people's catching bottle feeding you? So have content boundaries. I mean, go on unfollow people that you have to unfollow and follow people that you have to follow. Mute people that you actually have to mute, or mute people that you don't have to. Do you understand? But consciously create your content boundaries. Follow people that are inspiring. Follow people that align with your dream. Follow people that aligns with who you are. Follow people that will take you to, you know that this is where I'm going to, and they are on that journey. Follow people that will inspire you. So after tonight's session, go and consciously go and check your social media feed. Those you are following, those you are not following, and begin to unfollow and refollow and unfollow those that you need to follow as well. So consciously curate your feed. Consciously create your feed to actually show you things that you really need to see. And another point on setting boundaries is communicate based boundaries. Now, listen to me. I believe that the most important people or dearest people to your heart should be your family. And if you don't have family, maybe friends, let them know when you reach me around 9 a.m., I will not be available. But if it's important, call me. Drop a number. That is you communicating. Now there are boundaries because it means I'm actually letting you know that throughout today you will not see me online. But if it's important, call me. So it simply means I've set boundaries that, today you will not see me without the ping, 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 ping. But it is very important, call me. So you can set boundaries by having time limits on your phones, have different time limits on different apps. Instagram by 8:30, I don't want to open you again. TikTok by 7 p.m., I don't want to open you again. This by this time, by that time, then turn off notification. So it's not as if you're even trying to sleep and there's pam, 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 pam. How will you sleep? Because as every palm enters, you want to check what does palmed. You want to check it as something pings. You want to check what does drops. So you can also switch to do not disturb mode, silence, put off your phone, watch what you feed your cell phone on social media. Then just be very intentional about what comes up for you on social media. And one other way that you can actually live or go through social media without anxiety is digital detox. Now, this is a period where, and I believe that almost everybody has done this before. This is a period where an individual intentionally refrains from using digital devices such as smartphones, computers, tablets, and social media platform. You just tell yourself, okay, this particular time I've had people deactivating their Instagram, deactivating their TikTok because they just like this particular moment and time of my life, I don't want to use social media, which is totally fine. But you see, people think that I think one of the myths that people believe in is if you have anxiety and you maybe do a digital detox, you would come back with that anxiety. It does not work that way. Because even after the detox and you come back online and you're still seeing things that brought about anxiety, it will not go. So when you do a thorough digital detox, ensure you've also done the first step on following people that needs to be unfollowed, creating your feed, setting time boundaries, having content-based boundaries. Before that's why I arranged it in order of preference, or should I say in order of in order of importance. Then after you've done all those, after you set boundaries, after you have mindful consumption, you can now do digital detox. You can decide to say, for this 1 week, I don't want to come online on social media. I want to start afresh with a clean heart, with a PPF spirit. Do you understand? So it's simply a period when an individual intentional is like social media fast. When anytime we fast, we don't eat. So now all you are doing is what? Social media fast. So it's actually a conscious effort to disconnect from the demands of social media, the digital world, and reconnect with yourself and real life interaction. Now, let me say something here. You know that there are specific times that whenever our phones are off, it's like your head can think more. It's like you are more focused. You can concentrate. You can think, right? It happens to almost everyone. Immediately, NEPA brings the light and your phone begins to charge. All your thoughts, thinking process disappears. The phone takes over again. What just happened? I thought you were so serious about your life. You were serious about getting things done. So now there's light. Everything goes off again. It happens to the best of us. Everything goes off again. Now you need to consciously deactivate, not deactivate. You need to consciously seclude yourself from the digital world sometimes and say this time is a me time. I want to just take time to focus, to rethink, to strategize, spend time. Some people don't even know themselves beyond what is put out on social media. Like, you don't know yourself, and all that you know about yourself is what people put out. What people put out. Someone will tell you, kole ngoni abi choleric, sanguine, something something, melancholy. Yeah, melancholy uncle. And then you're going to say, I am melancholy, I am choleric, I'm Sagittarius. That's the only thing you know about yourself. But you've not even spent time listening to me. You might think to get to know people, we need to spend time with them. But to get to know yourself, you need to spend time with yourself. You need to spend time with yourself and know the kind of things that you like, kind of things that you don't like, kind of things that you would do, kind of things that you would not do. You need to spend intentionally. This is an intentional process. Intentionally spend time with yourself. Now begin to ask yourself, what's that thing I want to do? I don't want to do. Take time off social media. Listen, I am saying and I say and I say and I say again. If all your life you always want to have the social media updates, what's happening, it means you are not busy. So I say to you, get busy, get productive, do something that will actually keep you on your toes, do something that will actually make you think, something that will actually make your brain sweat, something that will actually make you product. Let people begin to watch you. So many times in life, we should have a digital detox. So if you've not had any this year, do it now. It can be 2 days intentionally. Your phone is not off. If you want to reach me now, remember, before you go through a digital detox, don't forget the communication based boundaries. Reach out to your loved ones. If you need me urgently within 24 hours, call me on this line because I will not be online. So before you now go for detox, you've informed them. Just take a moment of digital world, social media. Trust me, this also helps you to reconnect with yourself. It helps you to think better. It actually reduces stress and anxiety. It improves focus and productivity. It improves better sleep quality. You know, sometimes most of us cannot sleep well because social media has even, if you want to sleep, you want to really check to TikTok. You think about what you saw today, what you saw last night, what you saw last 2 nights. Do you understand? So intentionally disconnect yourself from the digital world so that you can focus, refocus, you can rediscover your hobbies, your interests, you be aware of yourself, know what you like. Trust me, you see, when you spend time with yourself, you would even know what you like, what you don't like, what you can do. Then you begin to put it out. By all means, get productive and just do something very reasonable with your life as well. Now, those are major ways to reduce anxiety on social media. I spoke about the causes of anxiety on social media, and I also discussed the major ways you can reduce anxiety on social media. One thing I also want to talk about is what is the role of the brain? You know, when people get anxious, it's not just that they're getting anxious for getting anxious sake. It simply means that the brain, the processing center, is just like the CPU. The processing center is also involved in anxiety. So this is what happens when someone gets anxious. Like, this is what is going on in the brain. Now the brain has different compartments, not stages, like different parts. Yeah, the brain has different parts. Now anxiety is a complex emotion that involves a network of brain of the brain region. It means it's not just one part of the brain that's involved in anxiety, but the primary region that is associated with anxiety response. You know, I said anxiety comes in as your body's response to stress. It means if you don't feel stressed, there is no anxiety, and your body does not need to respond to anything. But you know, just like when infection is in the body, what the body does is the immune system responds by producing antibodies to fight all the infection and everything that is in the body. The same thing when your body is stressed, what the brain does is to respond. Now that response is now anxiety. The response is, hey, I feel stressed. Then you find yourself shaking, being nervous. So the primary region associated with the anxiety response is amygdala, which is the part of the brain limbic system that is important or necessary for emotion regulation. Now, there is a group of structure that is involved in the emotion and memory process in the brain. But the amygdala, it acts as the brain threat detector. You know, I said whenever the body is thrown off balance, that is a threat to the body. It means that my brain is detecting that my body is not at ease. My body is not at its complete and normal state of rest. So what the brain does is what respond to that particular threat or stress or fear or nervousness or uneasiness. And what it comes about and the response that it gives is anxiety. Now, amygdala acts as the threat detector. So it assesses incoming sensory information. It begins to sense that the body is already thrown off balance. This person is not feeling okay. This person is not fine. Now, it initiates the flight or fight response whenever a threat is perceived. Take, for example, maybe you are in a car park and suddenly you hear "Kpaka, kpaka, nibo, kpaka." The brake button, pardon me, I'm in Nigeria, Yoruba girl. And then you hear people breaking bottle. "Kpa, kpa, kpa." Will you stay? Will you just stay and say, nice, nice? What happens? The body senses that your body is not normal. Because if at all you were even sleeping before and suddenly you hear back and back, what will happen? You run. You wake up. In fact, you don't know how you woke up and just start running. So what your body did at that time is your body suspected that you are not as at ease. So it now sent a signal to the amygdala. So the amygdala initial response is to bring about anxiety, to make you think, what do I do? What do I not do? It now stimulates the flight or fight response. If it's a case where you have to fight, then all you see yourself doing is what? Fight, baga, baga. Take, for example, those that fight themselves. Before fight occurs, what happens? What goes out first? People exchange words. You heard is this, you heard is that. Blah, 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 blah. So from the words that have been going out, the body already says that this person there's already emotion, right? There's already emotion. There's already something going on that's already bringing about emotion. It now sends the signal. Now the signal will now bring about the action that you do next. So it now say, are you to run? Are you to fly? Are you to go for the flight or are you to go for the fight? Whenever a threat is perceived, that's what the amygdala does in the body. So in individuals with anxiety, the amygdala is overactive and is causing them to perceive non-threatening issues as dangerous. Because whatever you are even anxious about, like I said, you might have a presentation, you might be called to speak in front of 1,000 people. Is it dangerous? It's not. But because your body is thrown off balance, the signal is sending to the amygdala is that you are not actually good. You are not in a complete state of rest. Now, the amygdala is overactive and is causing the anxiety or the stress you feel is causing your body to perceive non-threatening issues as dangerous. Now, another part that is involved in anxiety, another part of the brain that's also involved in anxiety is the prefrontal cortex, which is located, as the name implies, prefrontal is located at the front of the brain, and is also responsible for higher level cognitive function. It includes it helps you to make decisions. It helps in emotion regulation. You can see somebody that now they scatter floor, next thing they're calm again. That's what the prefrontal cortex is doing. It's regulating the emotion. As the amygdala sends signal that, oh yeah, everybody scatter. Then the prefrontal cortex is regulating the emotion again. And it's also inhibiting impulsive behavior. It means everybody under tension or under stress, there is a tendency to act irrationally. But the prefrontal cortex is actually inhibiting those impulsive behavior, is regulating your emotion. So it also acts as a brake. Now you see that the amygdala is the part of the brain that actually makes you respond to whatever is going on with you. That's why those that fight is the amygdala. The body has gone off balance. It has sent signal. The body is not fine. It's not okay. Then it brings about your action. Should you fight? Should you let it go? Now the prefrontal cortex is like a brake in the amygdala. So when the brain is actually very anxious, the connection is impaired, which means that the prefrontal cortex is less effective because the work of the prefrontal cortex is to calm you down. So when anxiety is setting, this prefrontal cortex might not do its work well because it's already impaired. It's saying, I can't calm you down because the brain is overactive and you've already entered that anxiety mode. So the work of the prefrontal cortex is less effective in calming the fear response, which leads to unchecked anxiety. Can you see? Sometimes we just come out and say, I'm anxious, but we don't really know what is going on deep down. And that's one thing I love about research. And I actually love about time. Just like gives you a broad detail. It makes you really understand and know what is going on within you whenever something is happening. Another thing, or another part of the brain that is also involved in anxiety is hippocampus. Now, this hippocampus is crucial for memory formation and for contextualizing events. So it helps to determine if a threat is real or imagined based on past events. Now, this is where PTSD comes in. People that say they have PTSD, this is the part of the brain that is responsible for the PTSD. But the hippocampus is actually responsible for memory formation. That means it forms different memories in your head that will now determine how you feel. You know, there are some things you think about and you just start feeling very scared. Hippocampus is responsible for that. So it helps to determine if a threat that you feel is real or imagined or based on past events. So a dysfunctional hippocampus, which means that people that have PTSD are not supposed to have PTSD, because the hippocampus is meant, is crucial for the memory formation, and it's also very crucial in determining if what you are feeling right now is real or if it's just based on things that have happened before. So if it's like based on past events, it will calm me down and just make you know that it's not real. It's just like what you are imagining. But a dysfunctional hippocampus can lead to a person misinterpreting a situation as dangerous, even if it's not. Even if it's not. So if the hippocampus is not working effectively or not doing the work as it should, it can actually make a person start thinking irrationally. It might make a person interpret the situation as dangerous. It can actually bring back memories that were, should I say, dreadful or harmful, or brought about different memories for the person, and can interpret it as dangerous, even if it's not dangerous. It's just like a particular person that maybe they kidnap the person in the dark. Now, such person might not want to stay in the dark again, because all it does is what? Bring back memories of the dark. Now, even if that dark was not meant to be dark, maybe there's just no light, maybe like the light was faulty, but the person can begin to misinterpret that situation as dangerous, and even if it's not, the person can see it as dangerous. And this is when the PTSD comes in. Yeah, people say, oh, I have PTSD of this, of that, blah, 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 blah. So that is the work of hippocampus. And the last part that is involved in anxiety is the HPA axis. It's called the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal, and is a complex system that controls the body's response to stress. It controls the body's response to stress. It's like a feedback loop. So it involves the hypothalamus, it involves the pituitary gland, and the adrenal gland. So whenever a threat is perceived, the HPA axis is activated and it releases cortisol. Take in mind that cortisol is a stress hormone. So whenever the HPA is, whenever the body is thrown off balance, then threat is perceived. You feel like, oh, there is something going on that is not actually right. The HPA axis is activated and it releases cortisol, the stress hormone that actually makes you stressed. So chronic anxiety, because there's chronic, like people that are really anxious, they just feel like, don't touch me. Chronic anxiety leads to a dysregulated HPA axis, which results in high level of stress hormone. So if the HPA axis suspect that the body is being threatened, it releases cortisol. That's why you feel stressed. So whenever you feel like you are very stressed, it's because the HPA axis is releasing cortisol. It's releasing cortisol. I said earlier that for everything that your body perceives, your body gives a response. For everything your body perceives, it gives a response. For example, if the body feels like infection is here, it sends the antibodies to go and fight. If your body feels like this is that, that is that. If your body feels like something hurts you, it might lead to inflammation, it might lead to swelling, it might lead to pain, redness. If your body feels like bacteria has entered here, it might lead to swelling. Do you understand? So for everything that the body feels or perceives, there is always a response to it. So once your body feels like you are stressed, it releases cortisol hormone, which brings about more stress. And those are the regions, part of the brain, that is associated with anxiety. And this is my final note to you. Now, I want you to understand that anxiety can be resolved as long as you are willing to help yourself. Using the method that I provided earlier, set boundaries, mindful consumption, and do a thorough digital detox as well. These are intentional steps and process that can actually help you to get rid of anxiety as long as you want to live a healthy life. Because trust me, you cannot be anxious or be living in fear and also want to fulfill and live your life to the maximum. It doesn't work that way, because anxiety always has a hold on people's life. It's like you're trying to move forward, but something is dragging you back. Now, this is my final word to you. Remember that you are in control of your social media experience. You have the power to create a healthier, happier online world for yourself. You have because you own your phone. So you have the power to say, this is what I want to see, this is what I don't want to see, and this is what and this is what and this is how what I see makes me feel. If you see your mate doing well, instead of saying, this person has gone ahead than me, celebrate them. That's sending a signal to your brain that you are happy. Now the body is producing more adrenaline, is making you more happy, more pumped, more excited. But the moment you see a post and then you start to feel sad and scared, the body is also sending signal, and that's when anxiety sets in as well. The amygdala perceives that this girl is not so happy, not everything is not going well. Then it comes up as anxiety. So learn to be happy for people, right? And any post that you feel like you have been seeing that does not make you feel so good and does not make you feel so excited, let it go, mute it, block it. But by all means, I choose how to respond to things that goes on around me. It's not like you cannot just say, me too, I want to be annoyed, I want to scatter things, I don't want to be happy for them. But I choose, because I am in control. And I want to say to yourself all the time, I'm in control. You're in control of how you feel. Listen, nobody should make you feel, nobody's feeling should dictate how you actually feel. I'm in control of how I feel, and I choose to feel the way I feel. So tell yourself, I choose to be happy. I choose to be glad. I choose to be excited. I choose to let go of fear. I choose to let go of anxiety. I choose to celebrate others. One thing we must learn to do, even as children of God, is to celebrate people. People are doing well. Don't let it be a time for you to be sad, to start thinking. Some people, is the moment people are doing well, then you start to think about your own life. What's that? Anxiety will set in that way. So rejoice with those that are rejoicing, mourn with those that are mourning, celebrate with those that are celebrating. That's how we do life. And when you begin to see life from the aspect of you are in no competition with anybody, in fact, the only person you are in a competition with is yourself, life gets better for you. So that I actually want you to take those words to heart and go back and begin to check your social media again. What are the pages you need to unfollow? Who are those you need to unfollow just for a stable mind, just for a stable way, just for you to be okay? Unfollow them. Now, intentionally curate your feed. Choose what you actually feed on and just keep moving, knowing that God is always with you, God is always in you, and God is always helping you. And God is saying to you that I want you to live a life free of anxiety, and a life full of love, full of peace, full of joy. This is what God is saying to you all the time. Thank you for listening. And I think that with these few points of mine, I've been able to intentionally explain and educate you on anxiety and social media. And God, my heart just goes out to everyone. And I just want you to know that nobody deserves to live a life full of anxiety. And you can take control. You can take control and take charge of your life and intentionally dictate the way you want to feel. And I pray for everyone that the sound of my voice, everyone held down by anxiety, everyone held down by inferiority complex, because anxiety will lead to inferiority complex. Everyone held down by inferiority complex, that through the words of my mouth, I pray for you that the peace of God will guard your life. I pray for you that anxiety is displaced in your life and the peace of God will begin to rule and reign in life. That you would rise up into the fullness of what God has called you to be, and you begin to run with your God-given assignment. This is my prayer to you, because anxiety doesn't come alone. It has its sisters and brothers. It comes with anxiety, it comes with inferiority complex, depression, fear, worry. No, that's not how God wants you to live. God wants you full. God wants you free, 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 free. So go about living your life free. Go about living your life happy for people. Go about living your life intentionally, and go about living your life with so much productivity. Whatever it is you want to do, get your hands on it. Start doing it. Let people also want to watch you. Let them also look out to what you have to put out. Let them also look out to what you have to do, not you always looking out for what you're doing. And don't ever compare yourself to anyone. Remember, comparison is not just a thief of joy. It's also a killer of dreams and ambition. God bless you. God help you, and God strengthens you. Amen. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight for the Anxiety on Social Media session. I had an amazing time, and I sincerely hope that you had an amazing time as well. Thank you for being here. If you are a new subscriber, thank you for joining Health Talk with Kemi tonight. Do not forget to click on the red button below to subscribe and to get notified whenever we post a new video or if we have new updates. And if you are an old subscriber, I say a very big thank you. Thank you for being here all the time. God bless you. May honor you as well. And I hope that with tonight's session, you would take everything that has been said seriously and just begin to work out your own life as well. God bless you. Love you. And look forward to the next session. Next session holds 27th or 29th of August by God's grace. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless you. Do have an amazing night's rest and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye. Bye.